Hello and welcome to a new edition of Pelham School District Today. We are on location over at Pelham Memorial School. We're actually in the STEAM room, and I've got two guests with me. I've got Judy Shanteler, who is our STEAM teacher, and Katie Ralls, our Family and Consumer Science teacher. And part of it is I wanted to show off what I think of as probably at least one of the prettiest spaces in the newly renovated school. So could we just start with just a quick introduction?
Sure.
Who are you and what are you doing here? I know everyone knows you, Judy, but
I don't know. I'm Judy Shanteler. I've worked here since 1996.
What?
Yep,
That's
this is my
fantastic.
27th year, and most of it was taught sixth grade science.
Mhm.
And this year I moved to STEAM, and I'm glad I did.
This is your first year.
First year in STEAM.
Yeah, and first year in this space as well.
Oh
right?
yeah, brand new space.
Yeah. So in a second, I'm going to ask you about the space.
Okay.
How are you using it? What kids are doing in here? But Katie, will you introduce yourself and your connection to the district?
So I'm Katie Ralls.
Yep.
I'm the FACS teacher, Family Consumer and Sciences teacher.
Mm-hmm.
This is my second year teaching
Mhm.
Family Consumer Sciences.
And before that?
2 years of 8th grade social studies.
Mhm.
Before that in the main office.
I love this. And so you switched from main office to classroom teacher and now to FACS. Yeah, good. And so family and consumer science, that's not in this room. Yours is, I can see your room right through that window over there. And so just give me a thumbnail if someone doesn't know family and consumer science. What are the topics?
So for 6th grade we do financial literacy. For 7th grade we do child development.
Mhm.
And 8th grade we do cooking.
All right. And I'm going to come to that because I saw some of that child development the other day. But let's start with you, Judy. All right. So I love the room, and it's part of the reason I wanted to do it here. Will you just kind of
beautiful
point out some of the features of the room and things that we have going on in
Sure.
here?
The room is gigantic.
Gigantic.
And I decided to break it up in sections because it was so big.
Mhm.
We have a lot of sinks for all our fun work that we do and
Mm-hmm.
keep things clean. I have a beautiful, huge closet.
Mm-hmm.
This is the area we set up for a classroom primarily. Then I have a kind of a midsection for group things and puzzles and things.
So this is like a group work area.
Yeah, group work or where I put supplies out and things like that. And those are the bins where they pass in all their work. And then the section over by the doors, we display kids' work. I have some bean bags, some logic type games, and a more relaxed environment when your work is complete or if you just need a little break.
Mm-hmm. And is
Oh,
this the
and
storage you have over here?
Beautiful storage, built-in storage over here, which I use. Right now, that's the most empty it's been, but they've just recently taken a lot of their work.
Yeah, so that you use that as
Yeah,
student organization.
Yeah, that's where they let things dry or.
Yeah. So for those who in town who either
Don't know.
went here
Yes.
or are wondering where this space came from, tell them
Oh, this
what
was
was
the
it before?
kitchen.
This was.
This was the kitchen where they cooked.
Uh-huh.
And I think my closet was the walk-in freezer.
I think it was too, because right behind there is a little storage room that you can only get to from the
Right.
outside, but that's also where they kept food storage.
Well, I'm glad it was so large.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it ended up being really big.
It's a beautiful room.
So I know it's your first year.
In
You
it.
teach in this
Yes.
27th year in the district,
Uh-huh.
and so you teach 6th, 7th, and 8th. What are some? Give me an example of a project in science, technology, engineering, art, math
Okay.
that kids are working on this year. You're like, oh, this one's going really well.
Things are going pretty well. 6th grade did the rainforest. We focus on like the biome of the rainforest. So we do a lot of things with the animals of the rainforest for science. They built a lot of, we just recently built little STEAM kits that came and they had to put them all together and then they all worked. They all had moving parts. Very fun or very frustrating.
No, you're talking about STEAM there.
That would be the engineering
like
part.
the actual like STEAM, not STEAM.
Oh, no, I'm talking about STEAM.
Oh, okay, yep.
They were STEAM kits, so
Uh-huh.
they had to do with engineering. They were marble runs, fans.
Oh,
There's
marble
one right
runs.
there, that's why I keep looking.
Ah.
There's a couple of them in there. They were kits that they had to put together.
Can I grab that
Yeah,
one?
grab them. Yes. Yeah, those were some of these little kits that the kids put together, and then they had batteries and moving parts, and that was a 6th grade thing we did just last week.
Okay, so that's
And
the
then
sort
they
of thing
painted them. That was one of the sort of things. Right now they're learning all about bats. They made little foldables all about bats, and they made actually little bats that flew.
it must be so. Oh, really?
Yeah, they were fun.
Man.
Yeah.
So I think I've told you this before, but
Yeah.
if I had a do-over, this might be like an absolute dream job as well.
It is a dream
I was
job.
a high school physical science teacher, and I feel like yours is all of the like crazy fun,
It's fun.
engaging
A
stuff.
lot of building. We built some marble runs.
Mm-hmm.
7th grade does the desert. Right now they've just learned all about tortoises of the desert.
Mm-hmm.
Next week they have a big summative and they get to choose between all the letters of STEAM. So it's something that is science, technology, engineering. And there was like a description for each
So
one.
summative, that's kind of an educator term. What do you
Oh, a
mean by
test.
summative?
A test or a project.
Oh, they have tests in here too.
Oh yeah, projects.
Yeah.
It's a very project-based class.
All right. So it's
Yeah.
so their big grade is based on this project. Is the idea?
Yeah, there's usually about 3 a trimester. So
And-
this is one of 3.
And most parents or community members are going to say, do they take it all year for 3
Oh, they
years?
take it for one trimester. So
One
by
trimester.
the end of the year, Katie and I have all the students in the whole school,
Okay, so you have them for a
which
trimester.
is my favorite part.
It is nice, and then it switches, and you get a new batch for another 60 days. 60, and
Yep,
there are
and
3
we're
of those.
switching in like 2 weeks, and then we'll get our final third of the school.
Just one thing I've always liked about, I've envied about unified arts teachers is you get to reteach things, and so you get really good at particular
Or if
lessons.
it didn't go well, or you need to tweak it, you can.
Get right to it. Yeah. All right, and so tell me a little bit about what's happening. Start with 7th grade, because I was in there and I watched kids presenting something about, I think maybe they were designing little kid toys. Tell me about that project.
Yep, so the 7th graders do child development, so we're currently on our toddler unit. So they had to develop a toddler activity and tell me what skills the toddler would have to use when doing the activity. So that's what they were presenting when you came in.
Yeah, so it seemed like, do I have it right, that they had to, in the project, show that they understood some of the developmental markers that a toddler would be practicing.
Correct.
Yeah, that was really nice. So that's one, but a community member might say, but I thought this was a cooking class, because you've got that great kitchen. Don't you use that? So tell us about how kids use the kitchen area.
So our 6th grade doesn't use the kitchen area very much. Our 7th grade does when they do their child development for the toddler unit. For example, they had to create a toddler lunch using My Plate, and they have to follow the meal appeal guidelines for toddlers.
The what?
The meal appeal.
What's that?
It's to make sure that they have all different colors on the plate and shapes and those types of things.
Uh-huh.
For
Cut up
toddlers.
small.
Yes.
Cut up small. Cut
Yep,
those
you don't
cut those
want to.
grapes in half.
Yes. And then 8th grade primarily cooks.
Oh, okay.
So they do safety, sanitation at the beginning of the trimester, and then every week they do a new food lab that integrates a new topic.
And what is the hardest thing that you make them cook?
Ooh.
What's a hard thing? What's one
They have a
struggle
hard
with?
time with baking because baking is very measurement based. It's not just like a pinch or a dash.
Do you make them instead of scooping?
Yes, they
make
have
them
to
pour out and then level with the knife?
Pour and level, yes.
That's good. See, I've been in enough times to know that those are some of the skills. And so that space is in the new part of the building, right? And different than this one, it's kind of divided into
It is divided, yes.
2 parts. Tell us about the layout.
So when you first come into the room, there's the classroom space, and then the second half of the classroom is the kitchen space, which houses 4 kitchens and can hold up to 20 students.
So 4 stations of up to 5 for kids to be in that kitchen area. And remind me one other thing, because it came up actually in our budget process, so the public may have heard it, about this babysitting class.
So 7th grade will, at the end of the trimester, so probably about next week, or the week after, they will complete certification for babysitting. So,
And who's that through? Is that,
so we use a separate company. We don't do Red Cross.
oh, you don't do Red
We
Cross?
don't do Red Cross,
Uh-huh.
no. We did ask for in the budget this year that we get a full package so that we can introduce the CPR as well.
that's
so that
right.
we become certified with CPR.
Oh, that'll be nice. So they'll leave with that little credential
Correct.
if they wanted to say, hey, I want to babysit for a neighbor or start a little babysitting business. That'll be a credential they have. Good, good. All right, and so the last question I have for you both is, I know, they heard you say good, you are both home now. This is your classroom for STEAM.
It is.
You are in your classroom for FACS. You kind of have to be. And first off, where were you before you got in here?
Oh, in the cafeteria. The whole first trimester I taught in the cafeteria.
So this must be an improvement.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, yeah,
Cafeteria is nice too, but this is much better.
yeah. So you just had to deal, and
We did deal. I was on a cart.
what's left in terms of moving? I know you two don't have to move, but because
We don't have to move, but I'm anxiously awaiting a garden.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so pointing to the courtyard area.
Courtyard, yeah.
That'll be really nice. We'll get a path there. You'll be able to
We'll all meet
see it.
there.
Yeah, that'll be a lovely place
We
for
could-
lunches.
Garden and use it. They could use it in FACS.
Grow a little herb garden out there.
Or
That's right.
tomatoes.
Tomatoes. Yeah, it'd be good for tomatoes, too, if you go on that side, south-facing. Yeah, that'll be
I'm a
good.
pretty good gardener.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah?
I'm going to learn more.
All right. But other teachers are still going to have to move.
Yes.
I know you don't know this, but what sort of moves are you aware of still coming? Who's still
I
going to
think
have
the
to move?
UAs are all where they belong.
That's right.
And I
Unified
think-
arts are all home, so that's art, music, health, library,
Yep.
PE, FACS, STEAM. Get the whole bunch?
I think that's all of us.
Yeah, yeah, all home. Yeah,
And then
that's good.
everybody's upstairs right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I think about half will have to move down.
Yeah, so the core teachers are really kind of cheek by jowl up there right
Yeah, they're a
now,
little-
jammed in,
Close.
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 And when the first floor is done, they'll be able to.
Half will come down.
And our 8th graders will be able to come back in.
Yes,
our
the
eighth
portables
grade.
will come in.
That'll be heaven, right?
Yes, for them for sure.
Yeah, to get the 8th grade back inside. Well, I really appreciate getting to talk to both of you. I also really like to get to show off this space because
Sure.
it is beautiful. So this was a special episode of Pelham School District Today. We're over at Pelham Memorial School in the STEAM room. And thanks for tuning in.